We have this story from the Daily Mail. Joe Biden will target super rich in corporate America in tonight's State of the Union address with sweeping tax rises. Thanks, Daily Mail. Rises to include hiking minimum corporate tax from 21 to 25% and a minimum 25% tax for billionaires. I don't care for the billionaire stuff. I actually really don't mind raising the corporate tax rate on its face. Because you know what that does? The corporations, they'll just spend more money. So, whatever. The left is going to come out and they're going to scream and be like, yeah, tax the rich. The funny thing is, this is the funny thing about arguing with leftists. They're like, shouldn't we tax the rich? And then we get into the surface level argument of like, where would the taxes go? When the real argument is, if you tax the rich will spend their money. That's all. Mm-hmm. They will amass more wealth and riches and they will expand their control. That's it.
And if you don't tax them, they'll do the same thing.
If you don't tax them, they'll buy assets, hard assets, and store their. If you tax the corporations at low rates, then they put that money away. If you tax them at high rates, they spend that money as fast as they can. The purpose of taxing corporations is to speed up the economy, not to generate money from the government, because the government doesn't need tax money to operate because they print money.
Yeah, print money backed by more printing of money.
But,
don't forget that the rich own companies, and who's gonna face those prices, those increased prices when we go to the store? Us, the American people.
Yeah.
Middle America, hardworking Americans are gonna be footing this bill.
There's this funny video, I have it pulled up actually. Bloomberg opinion. If you look at the data, Biden is quietly having a good presidency. The question is, will it matter against Trump? All right, who wants to have their time wasted? Let's play a clip.
Evaluate the success of a president. But if you look at there's a lot of ways to evaluate the success of a president. But if you look at the numbers, Biden's quietly having a good presidency. We looked at 10 metrics of US success over the past 3 years, and each data point tells an important story. So first, jobs. We added 14.8 million jobs, and the unemployment rate remained below 4%. But there were rolling recessions in tech and finance. Wages were also stagnant for a long time before ticking up in 2023 and continuing to grow. And of course, people are still feeling the pressure cooker impact of inflation. But inflation has fallen too. Cost of living is also continuing to fall. There's even more good news. Income inequality has continued to narrow, with most wage gains going toward lower income workers. And household wealth has grown tremendously while debt burdens are at record lows. The stock market is not the economy, but it's been raging the whole time. The S&P 500 has returned 45%, double the returns of the rest of the world, but not quite as high as Trump or Obama's full-term performance. In terms of violence, overall homicide rates are falling, with overall violent crime at its lowest since 1969.
And it's so low, in fact, that they only had to call in 750 National Guardsmen into New York City. I love this video because these are the liberal elites who are like, I looked at a data point in a newspaper and they said everything's good, so it must be good. And then you get these from MSNBC when they're like, why are Virginians caring about immigration? I mean, what's that all about? I got another video for you. Here's a different video of a regular person.
We cannot keep doing this. My husband and I got a notice yesterday that our mortgage payment is going up almost $200 between taxes and insurance. On top of that, my car insurance has gone up. My health insurance has gone up with less coverage. My health insurance now barely covers anything, but the premiums are higher. And daycare costs, insane. Daycare cost, I know colleges that are cheaper than daycare.
So while we have this young woman working at Bloomberg being like, hey, we looked at the data and Biden's doing great. The economy is doing really well. I mean, people are feeling the heat, but it's getting so good. You get all of these videos endlessly of people being like, I cannot live this way.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the cross, and especially since the Bloomberg video, they're showing these graphs. So they're like, look, but the graphs say everything's fine. But there's no way to actually verify the data. There's no way to say like, oh, I'll click on the study and I'll see what's being reported. Is that metric saying that there are fewer people being arrested for violent crimes? Or are you saying there are fewer convictions for violent crimes? They're just like, no, here are some general terms. And believe me, because I have graphs, I'm speaking with authority.
Anyone can make up all of these graphs so that we can fit their narrative.
Or misinterpret the data. Yeah.
Out of context, like inflation is down, I think she said. But what they don't tell you is it used to be at 1. Mm-hmm. The other was at 50. Now it's at 49.
So we're good to go.
Inflation's down from what? What's the reference? One of the things that really annoys me is all those cuts where like she'll talk for 3 seconds and then the thing will cut and she'll talk for 4 more seconds. And then the thing will cut,
But
and she'll
that's
say
the,
another
like,
statement.
TikTok style, right?
And like, yo, learn how to speak for 10 minutes straight without stopping. Like, learn how to know what you're talking about before you start. It's so annoying to watch that style. It just started in the last decade.
No, I think it
12 years or
started in the
something.
last like
It was
4
like
years. Well,
2008.
TikTok
Oh, really?
got really popular. Yeah, I
the whole
associate that
edit.
with being like a very
It
specific.
was like iPhones brought it in. Like you'd be able to, or a certain iPhone generation came out where you were able to get like clips of video one after the other, and then all of a sudden it started populating the internet and makes people seem like they're smart because they'll say really articulate things, and then there'll be a cut and they'll say another but they're like memorizing the thing before they hit record, and then they stop, and then they memorize the next thing, then they say stop. It's just
Look,
obvious.
okay, I gotta say something. I didn't do my morning show this morning because I was not feeling very well, and I wanted to make sure I was here for the State of the Union. Okay, what's going on? Something's happening. Well,
Speaker Mike Johnson.
Gentleman from New York, Mr. Jeffries. The gentlewoman from Massachusetts,
all
Ms.
right,
Clark.
something's happening. We'll get that, I guess.
Gentleman from California, Mr. Aguilar.
Oh, I
The
didn't roll
gentleman
call.
from California,
Who's
Mr.
wearing
Liu.
white? They had
Okay, I don't care about roll call. So I'll tell you the story. Look, I wasn't feeling very well, but I knew that if I was going to do the State of the Union show, I had to take the morning off and just relax all day, and I'm still not feeling very well. And now these pro-Palestinian protesters are going to make me stay awake for 20 minutes extra when I got to go to bed.
They're doing it to target you.
I am personally
They're coming
slighted.
after you.
They're doing it to me. They're sitting there being like, we're going to make Tim Pool stay awake.
I want to know who's wearing white, what we're mad about right now. That's what Democrats do. Do you remember this?
With AOC.
They've done it a couple of times. They're like, we're wearing white because something bad is happening
Maybe
to
something
women.
with Gaza. I don't know.
From now on, wearing white is a symbol of gun rights.
What is Kamala saying?
Everybody wear white to symbolize the right to keep and bear arms.
Okay.
So they're just doing roll call for everybody or something.
Well, I hope they're having a great time.
Dude, Congress is like the worst thing ever. Just ever. It's like, take a committee meeting from your workplace and then just have it not go nonstop for 200 years. And like, it just turns into this. It is the most pretentious, fake, it is like the Mexican standoff of negotiations. Everyone's pretending. Everyone hates each other. Nothing's going to get done. It's just the worst thing imaginable.
It is theater. All of these old people.
At least
keeping
theater's
up with
entertaining.
theater.
Like if Congress was just like Newsies, I'd be like, okay, that's not so bad.
They broke out into song and dance every once in a while. I would be like, okay, fine. You guys are keeping us entertained.
That'd be awesome.
Instead, they do nothing. Oh, we got Massey and Gates
Oh, they're hanging out.
hanging out.
That's a good sign.
Gallego.
Oh,
Gosh,
look at this.
Our
Look
future
at
vanity
Romney.
ticket.
Mansion Romney.
Do you remember when Manchin was asked? He's like, yeah, I would consider picking Romney as a VP. Like they are teeing up to run together.
Interesting.
It's so funny.
Jamie Raskin is second worst only to Adam Schiff. I loved it when Michael Tracy was ragging on Adam Schiff. That was hilarious. He was like, it says a lot that one of the most egregious liars of our generation is about to win the Senate seat in California.
Did you see that Anna Paulina Luna is going to skip this? And she said, I can't be part of this puppet show.
Oh,
We're
wow.
investigating Biden and we know that he's corrupt. And so he's just going to stand there and spin for 2 hours. So I'm not even going to be there.
Yeah, I want to hear, is Mike Johnson talking to him? Who's that guy?
They're just doing roll call.
No, that's it's not Kamala's.
Do you hear like the deflation in their voices? Like, is their morale down? I want to hear Mike Johnson, see if he's up or down about this.
He'll stay neutral, I bet.
He seems pretty neutral.
Where's Trump doing his live commentary? We should comment on Trump's commentary.
Like, all we need
on
is
Truth
Trump's
Social.
face in a box in the corner talking to
Dude,
a camera as
He
this
know-
is happening.
I hope he pulls it off.
you got to do it,
He'd be
dude.
like, look at Romney.
These are a
So
bunch.
weak.
I just
I've
got to
been
pause it
wanting-
right here.
That's what I wanted to do for the debates, too. Like, Trump live commenting on anything is going to be hilarious.
Oh, I know. Like Snoop kind of parlayed into that kind of that career. He does streaming now.
Oh, this is where the guy with the horns was briefly the president, right?
Jacob Chansley.
Is this where he was when he became president for about 20 minutes?
That's where he sat in the speakers.
No, this is the representatives. He was in the Senate chamber, I think.
I know that guy. He's really cool, actually.
And-
Jacob
this-
is awesome. I met him in Arizona, and I've been with on him on a few spaces on X, and loves America. He's trying to become a congressman as well in Arizona.
Yeah,
He has my full endorsement. And, you know, insurrectionists don't come with banners and selfie sticks. They come fully armored.
Yeah, I think his presence on that day as the shaman actually de-escalated things. Like, that could have been horrific. I was talking to my dad. He was like, they could have opened fire on the crowd. I mean, we skated by with very little real damage. And I think Jacob's a big part of that because he kept people calm, singing.
So they're bringing in SCOTUS. This is the worst thing ever.
What a bunch of corrupt politicians.
With all their crappy posture.
This is why I hate government, because I wouldn't want to be in this pretense.
Yeah.
Like the theater of it.
Yeah, it's just
I'd be wearing this. I mean, do they have a dress code?
You know what I like about the private sector?
Yeah, there is a dress code in Congress.
In the private sector, I can go into someone's office, I can put my feet on their table and tell them to shut up because I don't respect them and they're bad people. Everyone here is like, yes, we're all clapping for the other people. It's like, dude.
Fake nice to one another. Say one thing and stab the American people in the back.
Is that Biden's motorcade on the right? Finally got through.
The Supreme Court justices have to show up wearing robes.
It's funny because everyone is sort of like, so what are we doing? We're just waiting.
I feel like that whole like protest would have just been set up to slow down in order to make Biden's speech shorter. They've been set that up for 48 hours at least. There's no way we broke and they beat us this time, guys. Oh, we screwed up. It just like gives me like
I don't believe that.
There's no way
they could allow a handful of just random leftists to block the president's motorcade. Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.